So let's go over the 𝗪𝗪𝗔𝗬𝗪𝗏 coffee bean grinder. I'm gonna go over all the different features of this grinder, talk about the design, the look of it, then show you, of course, a demo of me grinding some coffee beans, and then talk about who this coffee grinder is for. All this to help you make a better buying decision to see if this is the coffee grinder that you should pick up. Okay, so let's just first have a look at this coffee grinder. It is incredibly aesthetically pleasing. A really nice small coffee grinder. It is a little bit on the heavier side. It is about 10 pounds. Of course, we have the matte black here, and you can also get it in the matte white, which looks really good. So just to go over the simple features of this coffee grinder, of course, we have the dial on front, and that adjusts the different settings for how coarse or fine you want the coffee grounded up. And there is 31 different precise measurements that you can set with this coffee grinder. So this coffee grinder is mostly for your pour overs. If you're doing some type of pour over, French press, then this is definitely a grinder that works really well for this. It can do espresso beans, but it's not designed for espresso beans. So it would be best not to use them if possible. What's really cool about the lid right here is you can have a look. We can see that it gives you the exact grind setting that you would want for the different types of coffee that you're making. That's really handy to have. So then of course you can see as you move it, we have a finer on the left-hand side. If you want it coarser, move it to the right here. At the very bottom, we have our on-off button right here. And then we have a little lever on the side that will push down when we want to take the coffee grinds and just make sure that they're all out of the grinder. That way there's no mess on the bottom here. And we also get our little cup with this, an static cup. That way nothing gets stuck on the side. That's really nice to have. And there's also a little spout here, and there's a little ridges, as you can see. That way the coffee can flow down. And also when you're pouring this, when you're doing the pour over, it's not going to be all coming out at once. And we also have our little lid on here, so when we're grinding it, to make sure it concentrates into the actual cup itself. And what's really cool about this is it magnetic. So we look on the base of this, we can see the little magnet on the bottom, so it slips in really easily. Just throw it in just like that, so it's always in the perfect spot. So you're not gonna be spilling coffee grinds by not having it in the right spot. And we have a look at the hopper itself. The hopper has a nice little umbrella right here. That way it gets funneled all the coffee right in here. This is more for a single cup of coffee, this hopper. I've had no problems at all with coffee getting stuck in here. It really is a nice design. It's a plastic container right here and plastic umbrella. Again, just funneling it right down, so there's no issues with the coffee getting stuck. Okay, and then how quiet this thing is. It's pretty quiet. Of course, it's still grinding, so it's gonna have some noise. We can definitely use this in the morning and not wake people up. It really is very quiet for a coffee grinder. One thing I will say that I don't like about this is if you are changing the settings sometimes, and after you just made a cup of coffee, sometimes it might be a little bit harder to change it one direction, but simply just turn on the grinder once more just to make sure it grinds up those little pieces. Sometimes little pieces make it a little bit harder to turn, and then you can just easily turn it. That's really not a big of an issue at all. You just hold it for basically a second and it's good. Okay, so let's make some coffee. We got our beans, we got our scale, got our other little cup to put that in. Let's go ahead and put that right here. Go ahead and pour in our coffee beans. Have it set to grams. And we're gonna do about 0.2 grams of coffee. So we have our beans right here. And we do have an AeroPress, so we are gonna go 3 to 4. Go ahead and pour the coffee on in so you can see the umbrella. It's nice, just pushes it all in, just funnels it all down on in. Throw on the top and just push the on button and we're ready to go. And what's really nice, when it's done grinding up the coffee, you can hear it basically turn off, so you don't have to just be guessing. You know when it's done grinding, so that's really nice. So go ahead and push this little lever just to make sure it has all the coffee grounds out so it doesn't make a big mess on the bottom. Pull this on out so you can see the coffee grounds. So we have a little bit on the edge here, not too much. And then there is our coffee. Smells absolutely great. So you can see there's no stick on the sides, which is really nice. A lot of coffee grinders have that issue. Yeah, smells great. And you're ready to pour this over. So who is this coffee grinder really for? Of course, your coffee enthusiasts will definitely want to pick this up, but it's really for anyone who wants a really high quality appliance that looks good, that looks modern, that is quiet, has a bunch of different precise adjustments, that doesn't make a huge mess when you grind the coffee. If you want a coffee grinder that, of course, the beans don't get stuck in the top. And for anyone really just looking for a better overall coffee experience, I like using this thing. It's kind of meditative when you're just in the morning, just grind up coffee, a little cup, and do a pour over. There's just something to that with that routine that is just really relaxing. So personally, for me, the 𝗪𝗏𝗦 Gen 2 coffee grinder has been absolutely worth it. I've had this for over a year. It's been working incredibly well for me. I use it every day, and it's definitely a coffee grinder that I am going to continue to be using. So hopefully my experience and that demo help you decide if this is a coffee grinder for you.